Hello friends, welcome to TechGranth. So in this video, we will be seeing how to install Docker Desktop. Unfortunately, in our last video, we were having Windows 8.1, so we could not be able to install Docker Desktop. And I showed you how to install Docker Toolbox on the Windows OS less than Windows 10, right? Between Windows 10 to Windows 7. So Docker Desktop, because Docker Desktop is having requirements that we should have Windows 10 at least, right? And second is virtualization must be enabled, right? So in this video, we will see how to install Docker Desktop on Windows 10. So let's get started. So as you can see, we have already downloaded Docker Desktop installer, right? That we can download from Docker website. So let's just double click on it to get it installed, right? You know how we can install any package on Windows. So just if you can see the size as well, right? It is having 915 MB, right? So you must have that much space on your disk to before installation, right? As we have already double clicked, so now it is downloading all the package and a configuration check to enable required Windows feature and add shortcut to desktop. So just click on OK, right? And it will just unpacking all the files and libraries and binaries from that downloaded installer, right? And then it will install our Docker desktop. So it will take some time for 3, 4, or 5 minutes, right? So let's wait till then and see when it's installed. If you are thinking that from where we get the package installer.exe, I have seen shown in last video. So now our installation has succeeded, but we have to restart our Windows to complete the installation. So I just click on restart, but it is giving us an error. An error is about hardware assisted virtualization and data execution protection must be enabled in BIOS. It seems that our virtualization is not enabled on our laptop, right, or desktop. So let me just as I said, there are two conditions, right? First, we should have Windows 10, and another is virtualization must be enabled on our Windows OS. So let's see how we can check our virtualization is enabled or not. We just go to Task Manager, right? Uh, I hope you must know that how to go to Task Manager, Control or Delete, and then Task Manager. Then we can go on Performance tab there, Performance option section, and you can see virtualization is disabled here, right? So that must be enabled. Okay, so let me just get it enabled, right? And that can be enabled through from the BIOS options only, right? So I have just make it enabled at the backend by going to the BIOS settings, and then there I have just enabled for virtualization. You can see how your desktop or laptop can have virtualization enabled. You can search on Google and follow those steps, right? Or if there will be any issue, you can just write on the comments and I will help you on that, right? So you can we have virtualization enabled now. Just double click on again this Docker desktop shortcut icon, right? So now you can see existing installation is up to date, right? Our installation has been finished successfully. We can just close it now. Okay, now as installation is completed, so we just reopen Docker desktop. Now it will open a Docker desktop web UI, right? You can see there is a small web UI where you can see no container running, right? We can see Docker that icon there on the top. and in right hand side you can see the settings options. We have general settings like start Docker desktop when we log in to the laptop or desktop, automatically check for update, expose daemon on TCP localhost 2375 port. And we have other settings as well. In the for the resources we have CPU, memory, swap space, and disk space. We can adjust as per our requirement, right? How much we need, and we have to give the location. We can browse to the location where we want to store the data for this Docker desktop, right? Then we have file sharing option. We have proxies if we are using. Then we have network option, right, where we have Hyper-V subnet and Docker subnets, right? And then we have some settings about Docker engine. Configure the Docker daemon by typing JSON Docker daemon configuration file. We will not be just modifying it because this can prevent Docker from starting. So we have a command line option as well. We will just leave it at as it is. Then we have Kubernetes option. We can run Kubernetes as a single node cluster using this Docker desktop, but are not going to enable it. We will just save it for future use. We will enable it in our future videos. I'll show you then. And yeah, we can enable Kubernetes. Then we have Docker, other options as well. We are not using those, right? So here you can see we have a troubleshooting option, sign in. We can sign in here with the same Docker ID and password credentials which we use on Docker Hub as well. So let's just sign in with our credentials. So I click on sign in, and it is asking for Docker ID, which is Tegren, right? We are using our credentials as Tegren Docker ID and then password. Just click on sign in, and it will logged in. Uh, us. Oh, yeah, I have set up two-factor authentication as well. Uh, we I am using Microsoft Authenticator for that to provide a code for two-factor authentication. So I will provide that code here, and then it will be allowed to log in, right? Then I just put and just verify, and you can see now on the that right hand side, yeah, uh, I am logged in with my Docker ID, which is TechGranth. Okay, just for now, just let's cancel this web UI, those login option and setting options. We can sort our containers, right? We can sort by name, right? We can sort by image, then we can sort by origin, project, service type, started time, and even with the status as well. But right now we are not having any containers running at this point of time, so we would not be able to sort those. I will show you those in our future videos where we will be having multiple containers running. So we can also go on Docker Hub website in product section, right? And then we will go to Docker desktop, right? And here we'll see guided onboarding. Okay, to check what will be the next step after installation, what we can do or how we can run our container on Docker desktop, right? So here we also need to log in with our Docker ID and those credentials. Let me log in with that. So I have signed in. Again, it is asking for two-factor authentication code. So let me just put it and then verify. So we have logged in to our Docker Hub, right? The same credentials will work for Docker Desktop, Docker Hub, and all those products in the Docker website. So it is showing welcome TechGrunch. Let's get started, and we need to install Docker to use Docker CLI, right? But we have already installed Docker Desktop, so we will just skip this one, right? Let's skip this, and then we will see how we can run a container on Docker Desktop or using Docker Desktop. Before that, you can see in this Docker Hub page, we have multiple official images, right, which are pre-configured and into the Docker Hub, and Nginx, MongoDB, MySQL, Ubuntu, Traffic, Redis, right? There are a lot more images which we can use to build or run our container, right? So let's see the hello world one, right? So in this hello world image, we can see different documentation for this small documentation. So you can see spotted tags, there are simple tags and shared tags, right? And then we have some example outputs, then when we will be running this container, what type of output we will get, right? We will run this command on command line, right? I'll show you there. And to try something else, we can also run Ubuntu container, right? With this command docker run it hyphen it Ubuntu bash, right? I is interactive, T is terminal, Ubuntu is our OS image, and bash is our prompt, which we will get after running that container. We have we can check details about hello world image using this docker images hello world command, where it will show the output as repository name is hello world, right? We have tag is latest, then image id and size also we can see from here using this command. Then we have some more details. I think that is not for useful for us, so let's just check, go back. So let's on again Docker desktop web UI. You can see Docker is running here already, right? But we do not have any containers running. Docker is running, but containers are not running. So let's run that container. How for CLI we can okay, just first let's open from start menu. We can also run Docker desktop, right? We can search in our programs Docker desktop and just click on it. It will bring us on the same Docker desktop web UI where Docker is running, you can see, right? And there is another option as well to check if Docker is running in our Docker desktop. In the right hand side task menu, right? This one you can see Docker desktop is running, a small whale icon is there, right? Where you can, it is mentioned that Docker desktop is running, and if I'll click right click, we can get different options here: Docker desktop setting, check update Docker hub dashboard. And you can see here we have logged in with tag Granth user, then repository, right, which we are using, and Kubernetes context. If we have a Kubernetes cluster, we can just switch to that as well. So let's see about Docker desktop first. Here you can see different versions of different components used in this Docker desktop. First, Docker desktop version itself, that is stable one, right? Then we have Docker engine version 19.03.8, right? Then Notary 0.6.1. Then we have a credential helper version, Docker Compose version 1.25.4, and then Kubernetes version we have 1.15.5, right? And you can also see we are using Docker Desktop Community version, not the enterprise version. We can also we can use that, right? Enterprise version. So again, let me go to the task option, click on right click, and then we can you can see on the dashboard. Yeah, if we'll click on dashboard, it will again bring us to this Docker desktop web UI, right? So we have different options from this right hand side task options, right? With the desktop icon option we can select to bring come here, right? And from start menu as well. But now what about the CLI? How we can run the CLI? So for command line options, we will go to just PowerShell, Microsoft PowerShell or any terminal on our laptop, and there we can run our Docker commands, right? Let's just run Docker PS here. So Docker PS just show the output for running containers, right? Just remember that. Okay, Docker PS only shows the information about running containers. So let's just put them side by side so that we can review what we are doing on command line is that showing on web UI as well. So let's run our first container here, Docker run hello world, right? So let's just press enter, right? It will search in the local if we have that image locally, but it did not found, so it will download from Docker Hub and then run the container with that image. You can see the message hello from Docker here, right? So that is what it is written in image. So it will just for hello world, hello message from Docker, right? You can see. So now that container just run it and work as it was desired and just exit. So if we'll see again Docker PS, it will not show detail about this Docker container. Why? Because it has been exited. If we'll see Docker PS hyphen A, it will show details about the stopped running containers as well as stopped or exited containers. So let's just make the font size little bigger. It is very small here, right? So let just make it 20. Yeah, now it is much visible. So let's run docker ps hyphen a command, right? To see the details about all the containers, either those are running or stopped or exited, right? So just press enter here. Now you can see uh, the detail of that hello world image container, right? And that has been exited about a minute ago, right? So that can those details can be seen with hyphen a option only. So let's just run some other container with different image. So docker run ubuntu, right? Let's use ubuntu image and with the that bin bash prompt. So same, it did not find that Ubuntu image locally, so it will download from Docker Hub and then install it, install it and run the container, Ubuntu container for us. So it is downloading now complete. Let's see now. The Docker ps-a, you can see now we have two containers with Ubuntu image as well, right? And the earlier hello world. Ubuntu also exited just 8 seconds ago. So you can see with Docker ps-a option, we can see all the exited containers as well, right? So let's run with terminal. Docker run hyphen it. I is interactive, T is terminal, and bin bash is the prompt. So what it does, it run the container and bring us on this root prompt within the container, right? So if we'll run docker ps here, it will not work because we are already within the containers, right? Where docker is not running. So let's just it also did the same thing, that run the container, go to bash prompt, and as if we have mentioned IT interactive terminal, so it will be here until we exit out of it. Let's clear my screen and then we can also do ls within the container to check all the directories there or files which are mentioned on the root folder, right? we can also create or remove or whatever we want to do, we can do within the container. We can create a file, we can remove a file, create directory or whatever, right? Whatever we do usually with the Linux system. So let's just for testing, we'll create a touch a small file with the name A using touch command. You can see that file has been created here, right? So now let's just remove it now, and we just removed it. So again, if we'll check with ls, it is not showing here. Okay, let me show again. Yeah, you can see that newly empty file which we created with the name A is not here anymore. So we can create files, delete file, create directory, or whatever we want to do, we can do within the container. And then we can use exit command to exit out of it. Right, you can see we have done exit here and we came out of that container, and then again we have run docker ps-a command, right? And now we can see the three containers with different images and all are exited, right? So like this, but if we'll see with docker ps, we will not be seen any container here. Like this, we can use docker desktop. So you have seen that that's all for this session. You have seen this video that how to install Docker Desktop, how we can use Docker Desktop from where which options we have to run the Docker Desktop, right? Web UI as well as CLI, how we can run our containers on within the Docker Desktop, how we can uh, go within the container, right? So that's all for this session. Hope you must have understood all the things and you can now try at your own laptop or desktop, right? So thank you for the watching, and keep watching, keep sharing. Thank you.